Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm Renee. I love books. We're going to talk about some books. That's probably why you're here. Please like, please subscribe. It is very helpful and I appreciate it a lot. Today's a great day because I just combed through my shelves and I grabbed a few of the books in my shelf that I think are just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I want to talk about what I think makes them beautiful and why beautiful books are important. And so if that sounds up your alley, please stick around. Please stick around. The first thing I wanted to talk about is what makes a beautiful book, or what do I think makes a beautiful book. And for me, one of the main, or common threads when I look at my stack of beautiful books is that most of them are old. And I don't think that they're beautiful because they're old, but I think that the way they used to make books was so beautiful. And most of the books that I think are gorgeous are old. It's one of the reasons I love used books, and at this point pretty much exclusively buy used books unless I really want a specific title. And why are the old books beautiful? Well, one of the reasons that I think they are so beautiful is because they look like they have been read before. They might have someone's name in the front. The pages have been opened. They're a little yellowed. They've lived a life, and sometimes you forget that the words that have been written in all these old books have been around for hundreds, sometimes thousands of years. And seeing the old book, it reminds you that these are words that have been handed down to us from generation to generation, and people have put effort into preserving them and sharing them. And I am so deeply grateful for that. And I appreciate it so much. And so seeing that physically on a book, the marks from people's fingers, and maybe someone dropped it in the dirt a little bit once, or a little bit of a corner of a page got bent while they were reading. Just seeing those marks of use and those marks of love make me think, they remind me that other people have done the same thing I'm doing. They've held this book in their hand and they've turned every single page and looked at every single illustration, and it makes reading feel a lot more communal, when a lot of times it can feel not isolating, but just independent, I guess. It reminds you that reading is one big conversation, and you're just reading someone else's voice, someone else's input into that conversation. And so that's something that comes along with old books, or used books. Maybe they're not even old, but you can see the mark of other people on them, and I love that. I also think that, listen, I really love the style with which they were made. I'll show you these books more up close later on, but just even holding these four together, I mean, maybe it's just an aesthetic preference, but aesthetics alone, I love the way they were bound. They were bound either in cloth or leather. They're all hardbacks. They almost all have gold on them. They feel like they were made with intention, I guess, a little bit. And this isn't only true of old books. It also applies to, I have some new books as well that I think are beautiful. And I think a quality that they share is that when someone made them, they put a lot of time and effort and care into making the physical book. And that just speaks so much because the words inside are so, so valuable. And when the outside mirrors the inside. It feels complete. It feels like a true representation of what you have in your hands and what you're reading. And I think because they are so beautiful, and you can see even on like my bookshelf or in a store, I notice people are drawn to those books. When someone takes the time and energy to spend hours looking at the font and the spacing of the words and the layout of the page and the typeset and the type of paper and the colors, and you notice it, you can see it in the finished product, and that draws people, that beauty draws people towards the work, which I think is so powerful and so good, because we want people to read the books. I want everyone to know all the great things that I am learning, but when you just tell them, it doesn't work the same. People have to figure it out themselves to a certain extent. And I think beautiful books help communicate that and help draw new readers in, and even seasoned readers towards books that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise picked. Because sometimes if there's a beautiful edition of an old book, and maybe I've heard of the author, maybe I've heard of the novel, but maybe I haven't. If it's beautiful and not that expensive, sometimes I'll just grab it because partly because it's beautiful, but those texts that eventually I read, I would have never been exposed to if I hadn't initially been drawn to their beauty. I think this text, that happened to this book. This one I have, my copy of Adam Bede. It is just absolutely stunning. Just so stunning. And I bought this. I think I bought this in Portugal. Yeah. I bought this in Portugal at a used bookstore. It's only, the sticky note says 1920s, so they think it's from the 1920s. But I didn't have a particular desire to read Adam Bede at the time, but I knew about it, and I found this, so I got it. And then I read it, and it was wonderful. It was so good. It was one of those books that you're just like, yes. Yes, this is it. And the main character is a carpenter, and I was in carpentry woodworking school at the time, right when I read this, and it was just beautiful and perfect. And I wouldn't have read this if I had not come across this stunner right here. I think those are the main things I find beautiful in a book. I do something about the gold also really gets to me. Especially, I find lots of smaller books are red and gold, and they just look so beautiful to me. That's just a personal preference, but I do really love the gold. Makes it feel rich, and I guess again important and significant. Okay, I guess I've kind of conflated the two questions, because how do I talk about what's beautiful without talking about why I think beauty is important? There's something about having beautiful things around you and in your home and in your hands that it significantly increases my quality of life. I love having beautiful things around me. My space really, I've noticed, it can really affect how I feel. And when my space is beautiful and full of things I love, I feel good. I feel better. And I know things are also just things. And I regularly think about how would I emotionally process the burning of my library if it were to burn into ash. I am working on processing that before it happens, in case it happens, because I know that it would be very devastating for me. So I try and hold these things with an open hand. I try to lend freely. I love lending books and even giving them away. Burning does just seem it does hurt, because no one can enjoy them. But if I give a book away and it's not returned, or if I lend a book and it's not returned, at least in my mind I can think someone else is enjoying its goodness and beauty. And I can, that comforts me a little. But anyway, side note, little tangent. I guess the last thing I want to say before I show you some of the beautiful books that from my library is that I know that it's not the most important bit. If you can get any copy of a book and read the words, that's enough. If you just go to the library and take what they have, that's great. If all you like read is paperbacks because it's easy and you only like to read in the bath or you drop them in water, great. I have hundreds of paperbacks. I do, and they're definitely great for so many kinds of reading and affordability. And no one can afford a hardcover new book. It's like $40 for one book. Wild. So I get it. I know that's not the most important thing, the way things look, but it's nice and it helps, and I think beauty is important in itself. So let me show you. I've given you a little peek at some of the ones that I have in this pile here. I just can't stop staring at them. That's why I'm looking to the side so much. But oh, I thought I didn't have that book here. Let me get one more book that I see. It'll be 11 books, assuming. Okay, I'm going to start with the 4 that I popped up initially. These are kind of one, or maybe this one's kind of part of it too. These 5, I would kind of put in one category. They're small, which I love tiny little books. They're so good for bringing around. They all have gold lettering. And they're hardcover and they're old and they almost all have someone's name in them. We have Adam Bede. Here, let's go this side. It's a bit brighter. Adam Bede, which I showed you before. I love these kind. I see these quite often. This one has its sleeve even. Schnazzy. I think this is leather. And it's just so great for carrying around. These illustrations. Oh, like the beautiful flowers on this. Like how much would a book cost now if you had to put these on? And honestly, these are probably expensive when they came out. Oh, this was Cranford by Gaskill, by the way. This one, it's called The Book Lover. How apropos. How apropos. And I just love the font was a bit unique in this one. You don't normally see that kind of font. I don't know when it's from. Oh, it has a sticker from someone's library. Now, I don't know. Maybe some of you know. There's some books, often kind of this vibe, that have these big stickers in them. And they say, like, Ex Libris, and then they have a name. It's like there was a time and a place when people put these stickers in all their books. And I'm wondering if anyone knows when that was. Because, I think they were mass printed sometime in the 20th century, probably, hey? Anyway, if you know about those stickers, please let me know. Oh, this one, also gorgeous. I just got this one. The Romance of the Canterbury Cathedral. Just the title, The Romance of the Canterbury Cathedral. And it's not a love story. I mean, it is, but it's a love story to a cathedral. You know what I'm saying? Again, the gold and the blue. I love this stuff. I love it. Okay. The next one we have is a bit different. And I kind of like it because it feels, a little silly, but also fun. This is a biography of Wilkie Collins that I have. And I saw this photo. And this one was a bit expensive. I think I paid $30. I paid $30 for this, which is a lot for Renee when she buys books. But that picture was just so incredible. The inside is blue, has a little gold as well. I just really like that. Okay, the next section we have with these beautiful books is, I guess these are all Folio Society. This one, it is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. And the cover, I just think is so incredible. Yeah, it says community, identity, stability. And it's just smooth. Wow. And like the inside is turquoise. And they always get incredible illustrators. Okay, this one. Oh, I didn't show you the advanced sleeve first. Another folio. Dream Street. This one is just fun. It's a cloth bound. So it has a nice little texture. The pages, we have a little bright pink moment up there. You know, just the detail that they care about the books. And they just look so beautiful on the shelf. So beautiful. You know, these on a shelf look way different than the small ones, but still beautiful and glorious. Part of me wants to make a folio shelf just to see what they would all look like together. But I don't have another shelf. So there's that. This is Shakespeare's Sonnets, and I love the cover of this. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up, but it has, I think it's pink underneath, and then it has this blue, thin blue fabric on top. So the color shifts. Absolutely incredible. Oh, yes. I love when you open it and it's just deep. Deep, deep, deep. Beautiful. The paper is always so different. Oh, it's just so good. Beautiful, beautiful books. Okay, last folio that I'm going to show. I was trying to pare it down. I couldn't. This is Charles Darwin, The Origin of the Species. Just incredible. Gold. Oh, yes, beautiful images. It's just so nice. Okay, and the last one I want to show you is a bit different. It's not, it's kind of fancy, but it's from a small press called Hingston and Olsen. They're a Canadian press. I think they're in Alberta. Yeah, they're in Alberta. Hingston and Olsen publishers. And this is one of their books they've come out with. It looks kind of unassuming, gray, smooth, but then when you open it up, all the pages are salmon. Isn't that incredible? It's so cool. It also came with this beautiful cover, little paper cover that I kept. I think it was maybe made on a letterpress. The details are just beautiful. And yeah, on your shelf, it's very skinny, unassuming, but then you open it and you have this little delightful surprise. Oh, so beautiful. I would love for any of you to make this video as well. I would love to see what books you have that you think are beautiful and what makes a beautiful book in your eyes. So if you're in the mood and if you have some beautiful books, please show them to me. I would love to see them. I would love to see them. In the meantime, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're reading. I hope you have a great day. Please subscribe, please like. That's it. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.